You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Doctor Who After Show.
Trying to stay on beat.
That was very impressive.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for doing, and we're here doing another Doctor Who wrap-up show. This is the season 7 finale, Name of the Doctor.
Ooh, chills.
Ooh, I am Jenna Busch.
And I am Matt Lieberman. Thank you so much to everyone who is watching or listening live from their computers or mobile devices, and to all of you watching on YouTube or listening on iTunes. It's been a roller coaster ride of a season.
Yeah.
Months in the making. Nearly a year ago we started this podcast.
God.
And finally the season is over.
It's 2 seasons. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just is.
Okay.
All right. So I will start by saying I love the episode.
It was a really, really solid episode. It moved forward a lot of mythology stuff. Mm-hmm. We got some concrete answers. There were some, touching moments and some really thrilling moments where the stakes felt high, which, like, on a show like this, the stakes don't always feel there. You felt the Doctor's personal stakes. You felt like he was in danger. There were some deaths that ultimately got negated by the end of the episode.
They were undead.
They were are
undead.
Undeaded. They were undeaded, and now they're undead forever until they're dead again, of course, as is the sci-fi want.
Oh, it's true. No one ever dies in sci-fi.
No one ever dies in sci-fi. I'm as glad as I am that Jenny is still alive.
Yes, and I'm glad.
I was so taken when she died.
It was so well done.
It was really well done, and really scary. The Whispermen, really scary.
Yes, and
constructs.
also remind me of a certain Buffy villain. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone else? I have no problem with that. I'm just mentioning that.
It's not the first time that you've been brought back to Hush.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. I'm just mentioning. But no, I really thought that was a great moment. She's like, I think I've been murdered. I'm sorry, ma'am.
So creepy.
Also, why does she keep calling her ma'am?
It's because she was her.
They're married.
Yeah, I know, but it's like an ongoing. It's just an aspect of their relationship.
Cutesy thing.
Well, it's not just a cutesy thing. I think it's you know what? Different strokes for different folks.
Indeed.
Even if they're strokes delivered by a riding crop, perhaps.
I'm so not speculating any more than that.
You don't have to.
But it's cool.
Our fans will do it for us.
It's true. I love Vastra and Jenny. I think they're awesome. So yeah, that was really, really heartbreaking.
Oh my God, so tense. But I loved the conference call concept.
So cool.
So cool. And of course, Strax's introduction in the episode was like one of my favorite Strax moments of all times. Of course, that he would find his way to it was Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Right? To Glasgow to fight this big, bald, burly dude.
I love it.
It's his heaven on earth, And then, of course, he gives the guy the shovel. He's like, it's going to take a while to knock me out, so you should get started.
It was really cool because Dan Starkey, who plays Strax, actually said in an insider thing that he saw the guy who was playing him and was like, whoa, and then he saw his stunt double who was even bigger, and he was like, okay. He's like, there's a lot of padding you can put in that costume, but still.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny.
Really, really funny. And then River Song, who at first we thought was normal River.
Yeah.
But in what signifies, I think, a tonal shift for the series and how we will deal with her character from now on, it was in fact the image left on the library's central computer, which I'm so actually very, very happy about. I know it's sad.
No, me too.
I know it's sad, but I think we had seen her so many times that it makes sense that the loop has now closed.
Yeah. I think the story had come to a logical conclusion. I don't think we got too much River. I don't think we got too little River. I think this sort of finishes the circle nicely.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was very sad. It's Digital Ghost River.
Digital Ghost River, who the Doctor could see the whole time, kind of. I know that it's romantic. It also doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
But I do love that they made a point. They made a point of that when he kissed River, and he was like, you know, to anyone who doesn't see you, that probably looked completely ridiculous.
That actually cracked me up.
Yeah, it was a nice bit of levity in what was a very intense situation.
Yeah, and I think the kiss was great because I think that gave the shippers something to enjoy, but it's done.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk a little bit about shipping when we get... do we have a spoiler wall this week since we've seen...
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we do.
Cool.
Because it's the finale. If you haven't watched it and you're watching this, then you're just silly.
Right, and it's
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I mean... we don't know anything. I mean, everybody knows the one spoiler for the special, Phil, our producer.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Everybody knows about it. You'd have to be living under a rock to not know about the special guest stars in the finale.
Was so cool.
Well, okay, that blew my effing mind.
I had no idea that was coming. No one spoiled it for me beforehand.
Yeah.
And I turned it now. And the other thing is, I did not watch this on Saturday when it aired because my parents were out. I watched it yesterday.
I watched it yesterday too. Actually.
You really?
Yeah.
And no one said anything.
No one said anything, which is like, as somebody who recently had Star Trek Into Darkness kind of ruined for me by someone on Facebook. They didn't even mention anything that was actually in the plot. They said something that made me realize one of the key twists. And I was bored throughout the whole movie, and I'll never know if I would have liked it properly.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who fandom is really, really solid. And several people, you know, due to a shipping snafu, had the Season 7 Part 2 disc set sent to them early, so they had seen the episode, and, you know, except for a scant few people, the majority of the people did not reveal what happened in this episode.
Yeah, and the same thing happened when Clara showed up in Asylum of the Daleks. No one knew. No one knew that was coming.
To me, denotes a level of sophistication among the fans of this show that I would even consider it a community. We look out for our own, namely, we all want to be surprised and shocked. And I had completely forgotten that John Hurt was in the 50th anniversary because of the magnitude of the David Tennant and Billy Piper announcement. I was so excited about that I'd completely forgotten that John Hurt was in it. And the fact that he's playing the Doctor, which the Valyard got name dropped in this episode, and he's totally playing the Valyard. I know that that's not necessarily confirmed, but come on, that's what the Valyard is. The Valyard is the darkest impulses of the Doctor made flesh. And that is beyond awesome.
It's so cool. I yelped at the television. There was no one in the house but the cat and I.
Yeah. I went full whoo! Because, like, that was just, like, so... To have just introducing John Hurt as the Doctor, like, that's just such, like, a badass... It's like a big, swaggering, swinging dick move. Like, because he didn't have to do much. He just had to turn around and you just had to label him. As the Doctor, and you'll have people screaming globally.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. I don't know how any of that didn't get to me.
Yeah.
None of it. Not a single thing. Interwebs, I love you.
Well, all the press outlets who received the episode ahead of time, the last 3 minutes were missing.
Yeah.
So...
I got it. I just didn't watch it.
Oh. Well,
because my parents were here, not because I didn't want to.
Sure. Let's talk about Clara.
Yes. Okay, she is the impossible girl.
She is the impossible girl, and we learned why with this episode.
And it was so brilliant. I mean, there were a couple of moments where the whole, like, green screen thingy didn't work.
Yeah.
But I didn't care.
No.
Didn't care.
Didn't care at all, because I appreciated I mean, their reach exceeded their grasp technically.
It's fine.
But the reach was so wonderful and was such a great nod to the old series that I didn't mind that it didn't always fit. But that's the fact that she was there and she told the Doctor and Susan which TARDIS to take.
Yeah.
That moment made the rest of it solid for me.
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it in the beginning. I mean, after she did that voiceover and we saw that, then it's, you know, she's saying things like, I'll be the souffle girl and run you clever boy and remember me. She added the me this time.
Which, well, not even that she added. If you look at it in the chronology of who she is, she just stopped saying that. Well, now we know what he had to remember, which is her. And I talked with some friends about this episode and about, you know, their thoughts on the 50th and stuff like that. And some of them weren't entirely satisfied.
Really?
Weren't entirely satisfied. And I'm trying to remember the exact words that were used. I'm just thinking about the 50th right now. But
well, I mean, for me, I feel like singing "Lowered Expectations." If anybody remembers that skit.
Well, no. Oh, here's what it was. It was if she has been around the Doctor, you know, for all of these, you know, 1,100 some odd years of his life. Actually, no, 1,200 some odd years of his life, because they added more between the Pons dying and the second half.
Yeah.
That he never saw her, and that we didn't see how she saved him all those times.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessary. I don't think it was necessary. She explained it with one line of dialogue, which is, you know, he never heard me until he did.
Yeah.
Until one day he did.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has been there behind the scenes all these times. And the great intelligence was foiled. Finally, Richard Grant getting the scenery-chewing dialogue that he deserves, that he didn't get in the Christmas special.
I know. It was kind of awesome. Well, one thing I want to say about Clara, and I mean, I think that the moments where she was around the Doctor were so small, and yeah, it's possible that after a while maybe he'd be like, oh, I know you.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes, as we did see from the clips, sometimes she was young, sometimes she was not. I don't know. I think she was never really there long enough to make that impression.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost like the River Ghost situation. She doesn't actually exist until she needs to exist, and then she disappears.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what the exact science is behind that, but it makes more sense than these people actually living full lives over and over and over again.
Right. And also, like, I sometimes can't remember people, and I've only been around for years, and he's been around for a long time, so you may not remember her.
I also loved the callback to the Bells of St. John when she says, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that parallel means exactly, but I appreciated it.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see, well, we'll get to this when we do predictions.
Sure.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not saying anymore because we will get there.
We will get there. Don't you worry.
Okay, so I wrote down the quote from the end of the episode.
Please.
The name you choose is like a promise you make. He's the one that broke the promise. He's the Doctor's secret.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to write it down. It just sounded good. I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
Now I did.
Now, I mean, we're in this territory anyway. Who is he? The Valyard? Is he, you know, the 13th Doctor? Is he, God forbid, the 14th Doctor? And that's the promise that got broken.
Oh.
Somehow, by circumventing the 13 lives, you know, rule, which, as I read in a review, and this is important to point out, the new series has never mentioned the rule.
Uh-huh.
Never. It is not. It was very important to the older seasons. Never mentioned since 2005.
Yeah.
Because they always intended to change it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how yet.
Yeah.
And this could very well be the instrumental step in explaining how that rule will be circumvented.
Yeah. And another thing I've seen online a lot is a lot of people saying that he's really the Ninth Doctor, then that changes everyone else's number. And I'm like,
Whoa.
no, 'cause so many T-shirts are going to have to be changed then.
Oh, like people are saying this is the Doctor from the Time War.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But if you do that, I'm going to need a big, giant black marker to knock stuff out.
What if he is old Paul McGann?
Yes, well, that's another thing that I've seen.
Like, the 8th Doctor, after his one adventure, basically, wound up in the Time War, and it went on for so long that he became this grizzled old man before the final battle where he got transformed into Christopher Eccleston, which would have made for a great Christopher Eccleston cameo in the 50th.
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
Sadly, will not happen.
That will not happen, probably. I mean...
That we know of.
That we know of. But, like, how awesome would that be? If that secret... Because, like, he's a severe enough guy that I totally buy it when he says, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
He's a severe enough guy. I did what I wanted with the role. I only wanted one season. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Lies, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, that'd be so cool if he was lying.
It would be so cool if he was lying. That's a sentence I
never thought I'd say.
Yeah. Well, hey, the Doctor lies.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So we didn't actually get a name.
No. Well, the name was said, we just didn't hear it.
Right. Which, cop out, but...
But what does that mean? Does it mean that Clara, since she's been around for so long, likely knows the name? Possibly knows the name?
Possibly, but... Here's the more important question. Did we really need to know what it was?
Not unless it was Bob.
Yeah. I'm happy with that they didn't reveal it. For a second, I thought that his name was Please. Because he said please, and then the doors opened. And I rewound. I was like, his name... Did I hear that right? Is his name Please? His name is Please.
See, I just went to a bad place.
Weirdo.
I know.
Please please me?
It's not my fault. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
Stuff gets said, I go to a bad place.
But his name is not Please. We may yet still find out in the 50th anniversary special, which, you know, was always going to be an event. But now we didn't know that this episode was...
Sort of part 1?
Yeah, was a cliffhanger, was a part 1 into that part 2.
Yeah.
So here, some of the disappointment that my friend expressed. She was really upset that any seeing of the 10th Doctor and Rose is only going to exist inside the Doctor's timeline or wherever they are right now, and that it's not actually happening. I say better this way.
Yeah.
So that they're not really breaking any rules.
Yeah, I agree.
And they don't need to do something stupid that doesn't make sense to make this team up happen.
Right.
You know, these apparitions or whatever they are still exist in their own way.
Right.
But they do not actively affect canon.
Yeah.
Which makes things way less complicated.
Yeah, we have less to explain when we come back in November.
Oh my God. Can you imagine having to explain that away, Jenna?
No, I don't want to explain that away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy. I'm happy this week.
Yeah. Father Wizard tweets, I just hope John Hurt's Doctor doesn't have an unshelled Dalek pop out of his chest.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
Yeah, that whole thing was still so polarizing. That would be weird and funny. I would laugh. I would really laugh. Although, hey, John Hurt is an incredible actor, and he would play it with aplomb.
Yes, he would.
Yes, he would.
I just have to say something about, because I know I have not been the biggest fan of this second half of the season.
Don't remind the fans!
No, but what I'm saying is, I loved this episode. It's not my favorite episode, but there were so many awesome things about it. But one of the things that I think we've been missing this whole time is the chemistry, and it was back.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Well, not even just that. Clara needed something to do.
Yeah.
She's kind of, like, we've seen the narrative of girl discovering the universe with the Doctor so many times.
Yep.
That because we were introduced to her through a mystery, her just experiencing things wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And finally, she has a purpose. And once the Doctor saves her, which I hope he will.
Save her.
I read a review that said the episode would have been more powerful if Clara died. I'm happy she didn't.
I don't want her to die.
I don't want her to die either.
No, they have chemistry now. She can't die.
Exactly. So he's gonna save her, thankfully, and now she'll finally be the companion that we always knew her to be in season 8, which was just officially picked up this week.
Yeah.
Even though it was a given. Come on.
Yeah, it's not like Doctor Who's gonna go anywhere.
No. It's the highest rated global phenomenon on the network.
In fact, I read a thing today saying that the social media thing, like that the mentions were exponential and the only thing to come even close to it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't even close.
Okay.
So Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, Pacoo. You heard it here first.
Pacoo.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
I want someone to draw me a comic. Instead of like the pow or zap, I want Pacoo.
Thank you so much for playing Doctor Who Season 7. We'll screw with your expectations and then ultimately deliver a satisfying finale that winds up being a cliffhanger to an even more satisfying 50th anniversary special. Join us in the fall where we examine the birth of Doctor Who and also find out who the hell John Hurt is really playing. Thank you so much. Good night. Not good night.
That's like my favorite thing ever.
Thank you.
So you know.
Thank you.
I want that on a loop.
Yeah.
In my house all the time.
Let's get some more subscribers off of that, huh?
I know.
Come on, people.
Sorry, No, I really do want that on a loop, and I want someone to draw me that picture.
Yeah.
I'm demanding this week.
I want to talk Trenzalore.
Let's talk Trenzalore.
Let's talk Trenzalore. So, the idea of the Doctor's grave is really, really fascinating to me because it says that one day the show ends. Even if it doesn't, they're working their way towards a finite point.
Yeah.
We're not just journeying forever. It's kind of like in season 6 when we knew the Doctor died and he was running away from it, but he still always knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And this reveal shows that the Doctor has always known that there was an end for him and that the one place he cannot go is his grave because it must be the most dangerous place in the universe if it actually ended all of his lives.
Yeah.
How dangerous, like the level of what could have killed him?
I don't know. I mean, that looks like a battleground, Trenzalore.
Yes. It's a graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that the River Song gravestone was a fake out.
I know. Well, we have the Impossible Girl and the Impossible Grave.
Yes. Ha!
See what I did there?
Yes, I did.
So good.
The Impossible Grave. The Impossible Girl, Possible Grave, Impossible Astronaut, Ice Cream.
I love astronaut ice cream.
It is kind of impossible, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
It's not really ice.
No. But I loved that image of the gigantic TARDIS. It was super haunting.
And the bigger on the inside leaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very, very, very cool. And I love that, TARDIS doesn't want to land, so he shuts down the anti-grav plummets to the planet. And Trenzalore just looks gross. It's gross and disgusting. And then revealing the Doctor's, the first secret, like just that this, what did it was the scar tissue of all of his journeys through the universe.
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful, crackling life force almost.
Yeah. I thought that was a really interesting way to put it. The scar tissue of my journey through the universe.
Yeah, through time.
Yeah. I just want to say something about the thing with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Once again, having a personality. And Neil Gaiman, who wrote the last episode, who I sent this article to you, but I wrote one about. He wants to write another episode, but he wants to do a really scary monster.
He wants to make one of his own.
Yeah, and what he wants it to do is make us, and this is a quote, we, great buckets of we.
Yes.
So.
I am so down.
I am too.
I will gird my loins and pee-proof my apartment.
I will not drink liquids for 2 days before I watch it.
Oh no, I'll let him make me wee.
Oh.
I will deal with the consequences.
You're gonna watch at your house, I'm gonna watch at mine.
Fine. I will give the man what he wants. He'll have put a lot of work into it. It's true.
Well, hey, if I don't drink anything for 2 days, then that would be impressive.
Still a wee if nothing comes out?
That is one of the great questions of our age.
Yes. I'm gonna ponder this over a nice brandy and a pipe.
A pipe full of what?
Of tobacco.
Of course.
Because that is what one fills a puffing with brandy pipe with.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Of course.
Absolutely. I didn't say that. Well, you said you were going to talk about shippers. I want to hear about shippers.
Okay. So, again, talking with friends. One of them was upset that the 10th Doctor and Rose that we were seeing is not the human Doctor and Rose from the alternate timeline. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. And who knows? Potentially, it still could be. We really don't know what direction the 50th is going to take.
Yeah.
We have no footage. We have nothing.
Yeah.
But I still consider Rose's inclusion in season 4 to be one of the great missteps of this season. Yeah. Of this series.
You think?
I so passionately am just... why would we want to see a human Doctor ever again?
No. It's enough to know that that has happened somewhere.
Yeah. They have a happy life somewhere.
Yeah.
They have kids and whatever. Do we really want to see Mom Rose with her smart babies?
No.
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 But here's the thing about shippers, and this is really interesting because I was reading something about Game of Thrones today, and one of the things that people were starting to use shipping in terms of relationships that are not love relationships as well, like friendship shipping.
Really?
Yeah, like something, and not that, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, there's a really bad character and a little girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't...
Oh, I want them to be friends, too.
Yeah, and somebody used the word shipping, and I was like, ew, ew, ew. And then they said, well, let me explain what I'm saying. So, I mean, so...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
An evolution of the word.
Yeah, so it brings me back to this, because I like the idea of shipping and wanting it to happen, but then when you see it, it's not the same thing as real life. Like, you don't want problems in a real relationship. You want it to go well, but then when you're watching it on TV, like, that's not interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't need to see them all happy.
Well, that's why you don't want couples to get together too early in a series, because then you have to generate conflict, and you never get the happy marriage or whatever. I do want to see those two be friends, though.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize that he's, in fact, a better person than he appears.
It would be the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've introduced you to friendship shipping.
Oh, friendshipping is the best.
Friendshipping.
I am friendshipping to all of our fans.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh.
All the time.
Is there going to be conflict now?
I hope not.
Oh God, no! I want you to like invent something in the comments section, like fake fight on the YouTube comments.
Well, I mean, we've already been in a fight every time I don't like something that the show does.
I'm familiar with this concept.
Yeah.
Some of you guys get mad at me when I don't like an episode, but maybe now, and I'm actually curious. So guys, do leave these in the comments or call in or tweet us or whatever. But
let us know.
Yeah, I am curious about this. Now that I've seen the whole second half, and it gradually got better for me, and I loved the finale, and I loved last week. Do any of you agree with me that it was sort of
rocky? Yeah,
it was rocky, and I felt. I mean, I've said this before, but I wasn't excited about it until the last 2 episodes. But this is exactly what I wanted in an episode. Like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite, but I have a lot of ones that I love, and this is definitely up there because it brought back all the things I was missing. It brought back a really deep exploration of the mystery. And I know some people prefer the standalones, which is totally cool. Yeah. But it brought back the chemistry. It just, I don't know, it brought back River Song. Not that I'm saying I want to see River Song all the time, because I think we're good with that.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm good with that. But I do say that, like, now looking at it as a whole, and we had mentioned this earlier, I see what they were doing.
Okay.
So I'm just saying.
And I'm very, very happy about it. God, it was so cool when John Hurt showed up.
Yeah, it was.
I'm still, because like now, essentially the 50th ostensibly is going to be their journey through the Doctor, kind of, and them trying to escape. But then John Hurt's Dark Doctor, Valyard, whatever he is maybe not going to let them escape, or the Doctor has to confront something that potentially already happened or is going to happen, but it has to have already happened because how else would he know about it? Except then again, with time travel, of course you know about some things that are going to happen to you.
It's all wibbly wobbly,
oh my God, the paradoxes, the paradoxes.
I know, but every good fighting video game has a thing where you battle yourself.
That's true.
Just say.
You have a doppelganger.
If any of you have been playing Injustice, you know this.
I have not been playing Injustice, but it looks
Why have you not been
cool.
playing Injustice?
Because I don't have $60 to drop on another game right now.
Come to my house and play Injustice.
I'll come play Injustice.
It is awesome.
Sweet.
Yes, but I think so. That would be a really interesting way to have him battle himself.
Oh, absolutely, in a game of wits.
Ooh.
Yes.
Maybe some punches also.
Ooh, game of bow ties. Well, it's like bow tie versus scarf. Wait. Oh, let's analyze what he was wearing because we're such massive nerds that we need to go to this level. But he's wearing a scarf.
I know, and a vest.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I need to watch Logopolis to see how Tom Baker's Doctor turns into Peter Davison, and it's obviously not Tom Baker's Doctor, but it's. I can't, I have to know, I'm so confused. I want to know more. I was like hurt and excited and scared.
Hurt, I see what you did.
Well, I didn't do that, but I did. I didn't,
totally
but
did.
I didn't, but I did.
Inadvertent awesomeness.
Yeah, no, like, I'm so jazzed to be jazzed right now. Do you know what I mean? Because it was so hard to get excited once we were in the season.
Yep.
It was so hard to get excited, because even with the first part of the season, we knew we were working towards the Pond's farewell.
Yeah.
We weren't necessarily excited for it, but it was thrilling.
We were anticipating.
Yeah, and it was thrilling to see where their last journeys took them.
Yeah.
And we were biting our nails in anticipation of what was obviously going to be an awful experience for all of us fans. And then we were excited to see the new companion, and she was great in The Snowman.
Yep.
We were excited to see who she'd actually turn out to be in the first episode of the second half.
Yeah.
And then we got in, and it just became the show again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that the episodes this season were necessarily quality-wise worse than it's ever been.
Right.
And many of them were in fact really solid episodes.
It was just a letdown.
It lacked. It's because the excitement level of all of these changes and brand new elements was so high that the show just being the show wasn't enough.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis.
Yeah. After something like, and I think also it isn't just that the Ponds left, and it was more that we knew that it was coming the whole time. It was not a surprise. It was not a shocker. It was, oh God, I know this is going to happen. I don't know if I can handle it. Every week, let me look for some little thing that's going to give me a clue. So you were excited about it, and I think I think you're right. I think it just sort of dropped back into the show, and I'm like, well, like that would have been fine for me for like a second season of a companion, which I know we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But this reawakened the excitement. Like now I'm like, God damn it, why isn't it November yet? I don't really want it to be November. I don't like cold weather, but still.
Yeah.
I want to see stuff.
Oh man, when he saves her, she's gonna be double impossible. Because she's technically dead. She was fried by this ray or whatever it was. And then, River made the point, and it was such a great point, that I'm still telepathically linked to her, so if I'm still here, where's she? And then the Doctor crossing his own time stream. We need more of an explanation.
Yeah, we really do.
We really do. I mean, I know this show, like... In this show, science is like a great big handkerchief. It's useful, but that use is often just blowing snot into it. And then just cleaning it up later.
That's a fantastic metaphor.
It really is. And I'm fine with that most of the time.
Right.
But I just want even just one line that can't be backed up by any level of science, but just enough of a justification that I can say, oh, it was justified.
Yeah.
It was a light justification, but it exists.
They put a thing in there that could make sense in some universe.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk 10th Doctor and Rose Tyler.
Okay.
What purpose will they serve?
Hmm.
And wait a minute, didn't we see a brand new version of an old villain? We saw photos of it, kind of streamlined for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
But if it takes place inside of like the meta Doctor timeline, what function do they really serve?
I don't know.
Unless we're like, are we revisiting old battles? Are we like chasing bad Doctor through time? What kind of structure is this thing going to have? It boggles my mind.
Where is Dr. Evil hiding?
I missed everything but hiding in that soundbite.
Where is Dr. Evil hiding?
Exactly. Where is Dr. Evil hiding?
You're excitable this evening.
I am so excitable. Because like it was a thrill ride. It was mostly talky. It was a very talky episode. There wasn't a ton of action, but it was like a great stage play.
Yeah.
You know, like lots of thrilling, dramatic tension.
Yeah.
And now just questions upon questions.
Yeah. Well, if you recall, last week we were told that if people didn't spoil everything, the people who had the DVDs with the finale, that Moffat would give us a scene with 10 and 11.
Did he?
Not yet, but it just aired. So I don't know when this is going to happen. I'm hoping sometime before the summer.
Come on!
Wow.
Do it already! What? I mean, guys, it's been 3 days. It's been 3 whole days.
I'm going to put Xanax in your water.
Don't! I need to remain at this level
until November?
At a constant level like this until November. It will be so exhausting. When I come back, I will look 40. He used to. Oh, I thought we were going to do another bit.
I wanted.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to do a bit, and I was going to talk about it as if I was narrating like an 80s sci-fi adventure show. But the moment has passed.
Not in my head, it hasn't.
Oh, it never will.
But I mean, I'm wondering if whatever he releases is going to give us some kind of clue. Probably not, because it's Moffat.
It will be innocuous. It will be a moment that is silly. I think.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
I think it's adorable.
But to me, and this is just me being a nudge, but the longer they wait, the more I'm like, this is something they were going to release anyway. He just said that so that people wouldn't reveal the blah,
No,
blah,
it's totally true.
Yeah.
It's totally true.
Nah.
No, he was totally going to release it. I mean, between now and November, stuff has to be released. So, you know, I mean, but whatever, it's Moffat. It's not like we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I don't say that with like, Moffat. I'm just that he has tendencies, and that is one of those tendencies.
Yeah. Rogue 9A writes, Clara learned the Doctor's name in Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, and those memories came back in the finale. So she does know what his name is. The viewers just don't.
Right.
I
think it's Bob.
Yeah. Father Wizard writes, my wibble from the first few 7.5 episodes wobbled perfectly by the end. I think we're in agreement. And hey, it's Chloe tweeted, I appreciated how respectful fans are in terms of keeping spoilers to themselves.
Yeah.
Very amazing. I agree.
It totally is. And it's sort of interesting, something I've seen with Game of Thrones too, because, you know, people who've read the books and, you know, trying to not
it would
destroy
be
things.
So easy to spoil things. I mean, there was a grave injury to one of the characters this season that I totally could have been spoiled by now.
Yeah.
Because it's very dramatic for that character.
Yeah.
But that's a different show.
Just don't look on Wikipedia, because everything's on there.
We don't host that after show.
We do not.
No.
But you should watch it.
Yeah. But we do host the Doctor Who after show.
Yes, we do.
How awesome was it when John Hurt showed up? Am I right?
You're so happy.
I'm so happy. I love John Hurt.
Because he's amazing.
Well, he's one of my favorite parts of V for Vendetta, and just he's like he adds such like a gravelly gravity to everything that he does.
Gravelly gravity.
Yeah, it's just
like
he's
that.
got that look in his eyes like nobody knows the troubles I've seen or caused.
I'm surprised you didn't sing that.
I am using restraint.
Oh dear.
I am using so much restraint. It's crazy.
I can see
There
it.
is a gnat in this
I
studio.
know, it's driving me nuts.
And it is driving me mad. And if you're watching it on video, you've seen me swipe at the air like a crazy person.
Well, much like the Doctor kisses what looks to be the air.
Sure.
See how I connected those
You
things?
connected it back. It was really sad and kind of frightening when Strax reverted to his old Sontaran self.
I was very upset. I
Yeah.
love Strax so much. He's the potato
know.
thing.
He's a potato thing. And, like, you know, so much, all of his charm comes from being a genetically bred killing machine that is unable to kill.
And so cute.
Yeah.
I mean, not cute like, I mean, he's hideous, but whatever. He's adorable.
But I want a plush.
I also want a plush. Do they have those?
I'm sure they must
If
exist.
someone knows about them on Etsy, send me a link because I want a Strax plush.
Send me a link.
I totally want one.
Yeah.
I was looking for any lines of his, but I don't think I wrote any down this week.
Here's an interesting thing. So Jenny is removed from the timeline when Great Intelligence is rewriting it. Strax reverts to his old self because the Doctor never defeated him in battle.
Yeah.
And let him live. Madame Vastra remains the same, which means that she would have been solving mysteries in Victorian London with or without the Doctor's existence. Or it's just a convenient, like, didn't work that out.
I think it might be convenient, but I mean, I will refer to her as Sleuthy.
Sure.
That's a word I made up.
Madame Sleuthy?
Madame Sleuthy.
Sure. But that just kind of, like, it's an interesting point, because we never got to see them introduced. We never got to see when they met for the first time. So she had already woken from her slumber and wound up being on Earth with or without the Doctor being there. And, like, the idea of, you know, the stars going out, which goes back to season 4,
Yeah.
without the Doctor existing, all these planets that he's saved countless times,
Yeah.
and all the lives that he's touched.
Yeah.
I wonder what else changed.
I know. Well, there was something that I wanted to bring up about time travel and how it works in dreams.
Please.
I'm just curious what you guys think of that.
Oh, right. You can travel in time in your dreams.
That's so very true. And yet,
It's such an interesting concept.
yeah, because
that
I don't.
it actually matters, or that you can manifest somewhere.
Yeah.
I wish Roth were here. Roth would break this down like a science maven.
I know. No, it's an interesting thought though, just because I loved what they did with it. I thought it was a really cool concept. I love the idea that the subphoric was impregnated in the paper. Really, really cool. But then I was like, wait a second. We've never done this before? I'm dropping my ring. I don't know. We've never done this before, and it's just an interesting thing. I'd be really interested to see what people think about it.
Yeah. Well, what if
Oh.
technically, you know, the Doctor and Clara can't go to certain places in history because of paradoxes, but what if the Doctor could travel there in his dreams?
Then wouldn't he go see Rory and Amy?
Wouldn't he now? Wouldn't he? I'm looking right at the camera for those of you who are
Seriously,
listening.
no, I mean, but does anyone have any ideas about this? Because if you can do that in your dreams, why would he not have gone to see them?
Exactly. See, but these are just new rules. And it's
I'm okay with it if you explain it. I'm okay with anything if you can explain it.
that's true.
But I don't know that.
Well, not anything.
Well, not anything, no. But I mean, I don't know if that was explained. So
Well,
I am very curious about that.
they presented it with enough confidence that it felt justified. So
Sure.
we'll give it a pass.
Sure.
We'll give it a pass.
Maybe Time Lords can't travel that way. I don't know.
Yeah. What if,
Uh-huh.
and this is for the 50th, what if these shenanigans inside the Doctor's meta timeline cause them to rip open a hole into the past of the Doctor's timeline, basically. Like, so he rips a hole into you know, season 2 TARDIS.
Ooh.
Basically.
Ooh.
I mean, that could be it. I guess I wanna know, are they basically just constructs of this meta thing that I didn't entirely understand, and I need to rewatch it a couple times
Yeah, I
to
did
really,
too.
really get where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But are they constructs or are they the original?
Yeah.
You know, original recipe, can't beat it. Dr. Rose combo.
I like that you compared them to chicken.
I compare everything to chicken. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I compare.
That's the thing?
That's probably the thing.
Of course you have that.
When most people talk to me, that's all I hear.
My neighbor has one of those. I hear that every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people say they don't get this show, that's all I hear.
Chicken noises?
Oh my God. Because they must be chickens.
The-
Can't stop clucking.
Wow.
Boom.
I don't even know what to do with that.
I am a mascot for absurdity. And I'm okay with that.
I too am okay with that.
Yeah.
Are there any final thoughts that you have about the show, this episode, or the season in general?
I think that a lot of world building was done this season.
I think so too.
A lot of decisions were made that will better secure the future of the show. It did not always lend to the most watchable episodes,
Yeah.
or it wasn't necessarily the most fun
Yes.
that we've had. I would say season 4 and season 5 are maybe the most fun seasons
Totally.
of the show.
Yep.
In general. But I think a lot of key choices were made in how the Doctor exists, how companions, will enter and leave the show from now on. The way it's shot. You look at Hyde stylistically,
Yeah.
how far the show has evolved even from the 2005 pilot
Yep.
of Rose. I think it's an important season for the show, and we will look back on it very fondly. I think that the majority of the episodes are, in fact, very, very strong.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of the entire show. And I think that this finale, while it wasn't necessarily, whiz-bang, jam-packed kind of an affair, look at that title.
Yeah.
It was just, it's the name of the Doctor. That's not an explosion-packed
No.
title. This is a mission statement for the show going forward.
Yeah.
And as a mission statement, I'm very happy with it.
I am too. I totally agree. Guys, we would love it if you would leave comments and tell us what you thought of the season in general and of this episode. Also, make sure, there are so many shows. This is ending until November, but there are so sad. There are so many shows on AfterBuzz, so make sure you subscribe on iTunes and you watch all the others. If there's one we're not doing, let us know and we'll start doing it.
Yeah, some of them, in fact, hosted by me.
By him.
So if I'm one of the things you like about this podcast, that would probably be a cool decision.
And how could it not be?
How could it not be?
Mm-hmm.
There was a comment that compared me to a Z Morning Zoo radio jockey.
But that means that person is listening to Z Morning Zoo,
That's
which
true.
means they like it.
That's
so
true.
that might be a compliment.
Yeah. If you are a fan of fun and also great sci-fi,
And some singing.
yes, then you can watch. I'm currently hosting Defiance on
Nice.
AfterBuzz TV, which is a great show if you guys aren't watching. And I'm also on Mad Men through the end of the current 6th season.
Excellent.
Really, really awesome.
All
Awesome.
about the fun.
Oh, the fun with Mad Men is that our finale episode, which I believe is June 28th.
23rd.
June 23rd, is going to be live at the John Lovitz Comedy Club in Universal City, California, right here in the Los Angeles area. 6 members of the cast will be in attendance
Nice.
if you want to join us. And I'm not saying exactly what this means, I'll leave it to you, the big man himself will be there. I know, everyone's a huge fan of mystery, but it's going to be a very exciting event, and I'm really, really stoked for it. And hopefully I'll be on a few more shows this summer.
Excellent.
Here on AfterBuzz TV.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us all season. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the comments. Make sure you rate us, and don't forget about us because we're coming back in November.
Don't you dare forget about us, okay?
I was surprised you didn't sing the song, but then I realized you're too young to actually remember the song.
I know that song.
All right, good. Well, you can find us on Twitter at AfterBuzzTV. You can find me at Jenna Busch, BUSCH, like the beer, not the president. You can find my work on voice.fanhattan.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, MATTLIEBERMAN. And you can find me on AfterBuzz at the shows previously mentioned.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.